I am going to embroider this snail using my PR 655. It's a 6-needle embroidery machine. So the snail I think is for implanted applique, but I'm not sure exactly. I've come over here to the left side and I've changed all the colors that I want it to embroider out because it helps with my machine when I'm embroidering. The software I'm using is Pacesetter BES from Brother. So I have saved my my design there, and I go to my removable disk E because I connect my computer through an HDMI cord to my embroidery machine. So I would drop and drag it over. So the HDMI cord goes all the way around to right here. You can also plug in right here, you can put in a thumb drive if that's how you save your image. So if I had a thumb drive, I would hit this one. But since I'm connecting straight from my computer, I hit this one. And I select my image and it comes up on my screen. And with this one, you notice that it's up sideways. So I hit set, and then we're going to go to rotate, and we're going to rotate it. And if you notice up here, the size that my hoop has to be also changed. So then we're going to hit close. I can change the size if I want. I can make it smaller, can make it bigger. You can distort it if you also want to. Next thing that I do is I go to change my colors. I do this because it also tells my machine when I want to put down fabric to applique, when I want to cut my fabric, and that kind of thing. So I always go, there's my pink, and then I hit the plus button. Now that first pink was my outline. This is where I want to lay my fabric down and stitch it out. So by putting this hand there, I could either put that, or what I like to do, it tells the machine the little yellow square with the scissors. It turns it yellow, then I go select my color. And I do this for every step. And I just keep hitting. And this will tell my machine, hey, she's gonna cut out and here I don't need to because I want to keep going, but here I would like to. And then I'm done because the next one is the eyes and the mouth, and I'm going to leave it. So when I'm done, I hit close, and then I hit edit end. Now if you want, you can, this button right here will stitch out around your design. You can rotate it. You can, these buttons are for if you're going to add a border and you want to stitch it out and you want to do a continuous border, you hit this one and it will, you can help line yourself up. I hit this button right here. This tells me where the design is going to go. So I hit this button and my machine moves and tells me this is where the perimeters of my design is going to be. And everything looks like it is going to be great. So we will get our thread ready and then we'll be ready. Okay, so I had to change out one of my threads. So I had brown and now I have green. So this is number 5. So I come to number 5 and I pull it out and I pull it all the way through so that I don't have to re-thread it. You also want to make sure your needle or your knot is really, really tight when you do this. Then I go over here and this button right here and I hit number 5 and the machine moves. Then I come over here and I hit this button and I loop my thread in, cut it off, hit that button again, and it pulls it back. You want to make sure, I don't know if you can see, right under here there's a little hook. You want to make sure your thread, when you're doing it, goes in there. Okay, now I want to close it. And I hit, you have to hit the sewing button here. And now it's asking me, you changed your threads. You want to go to this button where you got the two spools of thread with the arrows. You want to click that button, and it says black is number 1, pink, I have to switch pink to number 4, and then I hit this button right here. And then I have my deep rose, which is number 6, so I'm going to hit that. And then my lime green is now number 5, so I'm going to hit that. And my white is at 3. Then I hit close. So now I am ready to start sewing. So I'm going to hit the lock button, and I'm going to go. And it is going to sew out the first part. Okay, the little binging noise is because I have this little hand up there that says, wait, she wants to add fabric now. So we'll come back and add fabric. Okay, so my machine has stitched out my part of the snail's body onto the fabric, and my favorite part of the machine is I come over here and I hit this button, and then I come and hit this, and I hit OK, and my machine comes out. So now I can cut my design. And you notice after this had sewn out, it stopped, and that was because of the hand that I put in place. So my design is cut out, and I go over here and I hit the close button, and I hit OK. And the tray goes back. I double check to make sure nothing got caught underneath. I hit the lock button, the arrow, and now my green starts to sew out. And when this design is done, it will stop because I have the arrow button. But if you ever are working on a design, you're like, oh no, I forgot to hit the stop button. All you have to do is come and hit the reserve stop, and that will stop it after your design is finished stitching out. Okay, so let's say that you're way over here and you needed to go back a couple of stitches. Well, you would go over here and you would find the needle with the plus minus, and you would hit it. I'm going to hit 100, and it's going to go back. And then or you could go back as many stitches as you wanted. Or you could hit the minus button here, and it'll take you back to the first part of what you were sewing. Hit the close. And there we go. And yet again it stopped so that I can cut out my fabric. Okay, so I have cut it out, and I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to hit the close button. Hit OK, because remember I hit this button right here to pull out my tray and to close it. Now I'm going to hit the lock button and start, and it's going to sew this out. And we'll catch them. Okay, so while it's sewing out the design, if you ever need to stop for some reason, you would just come over, hit the button, and your machine will stop. Then when you're ready to resume, you hit the lock button again and start, and it starts off where it left off. So I wanted to show you how right here we have the hand, and then right here we don't. And I wanted to show you what happens. So I'm coming to the end of this stitch, and we had the hand for this. And now it's going to go straight to the next one, because the hand basically says, hey, after this one sews out, it's going to say, hey, I want you to stop so I can lay the white down and do my the eyes. You'll notice it cut because it's too far away, and so it has the next stitch over there, and you don't have all the strings. And so now that it's finished, since there was a hand for the white coming up, it's going to stop. Okay, so sometimes I know exactly where my where it's gonna stitch out. So instead of doing the base stitch and then putting my fabric and then cutting and then letting it applique around, what I'll do is I'll put my fabric down, let it do the base stitch. Then over here, before I start to cut it out, you'll notice this would be my next stitch coming out. This would be where it would stitch around the fabric and say, hey, you know, and then I would cut after this. And then this would be where it would do the applique, the satin stitch. So instead, I've already put my fabric down. I don't need to do this stitch, so if I want to, I can go here and skip. And then hit close. And then I'm going to pull out my tray again so that I can cut. And then I'll cut it. So just to show you here, we're ending the white stitch, and over here we have the hand at the white, so we would need to stop so we could cut out our fabric. And now it's going straight to black. Now it tells me that we are finished sewing, so you just hit the OK. Now this would be the time that, say you messed up on something, you would go back to the sewing and you would go back to whichever step, go through your button here, and you would go through each one of those little sections and you would change and go back and fix whatever you messed up. So I'm going to hit the return here. Hit OK. So now you're back at the main screen. Go here. It's going to ask you, are you ready? So yep. So you have all of these different designs and stuff like that. And if you have a design that you wanted to save, you could, these would be your saved ones, so you could save it. They've got like, let me see here. So you can like change to like all your letters and stuff like that. I honestly don't use these letters, but some people like them, some people don't. But any of your questions and stuff like that, this button down here, it is awesome. Any questions on how to like maintenance or anything like that, especially like, you know, when to oil your machine and stuff like that, it works great. So anyway, I hope this helps, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask.